This is the Stang Bladeworks Pyrenees, and they're, arguably one of the hardest folding knives to get on the market right now. Derek Stang is the maker, and he's out of Canada, and he does maybe 2 drops a year. I think he did one. This one's from back in January of this year, and as of filming this, I think he's getting ready to do another drop within a week or so. And then it'll probably be maybe one more at the end of the year, or maybe it'll be January, February when he does another one. And he does them like 20 at a time. So we're talking anywhere from, let's say, from 30 to 50 knives a year at the most, because he does occasionally do a blade show or a knife show, not necessarily a blade show itself, but a knife show. I know he's done Maker Syndicate, and he'll bring a handful with him. But anyways, it's a rare knife, and it's a really cool one. The particular finish on this is a stonewash on the grips and then stonewash on the blade, with a bright satin pivot collar and pivot, which really makes it look good, and then also hides any sort of scratches or anything, scuff marks if you were to carry it, which is also a nice thing, right? Turning it over here, you can see the pocket clip allows for a nice deep carry. It'll come up to about right there on your pocket. It's not so bad. The blade itself, I think, is the star of the show for the most part for many people, if not most people in the knife community. It's got a really unique look, with the swoop there, and then kind of just the grind. It's, I think, what do you call this? Maybe like a flat grind. Not really hollow. Not very proficient on the types of grinds. So I'll just kind of turn it so you guys get a good idea there. But it's not the thinnest behind the edge, but you can cut some stuff with it pretty easily, and then on top of that, it's got a MagnaCut blade. I think he's done these, I could be wrong, but his first batches a year or two ago were like 20 CV, something like that. And then he switched over to MagnaCut, which, as everyone knows right now, MagnaCut's kind of the rage. So kind of cool to have on here. I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit. But yeah, so the grip in the hand is great. This is actually a bigger knife. I have medium hands, and I got room off the end here, and then I can come up, and you can kind of come in, like this if you wanted to, like this, kind of the whole 9 yards. I would say for me, it's a little big for day-to-day carry. But not the worst thing in the world. Weight-wise, let's throw it on the scale real quick. It's not necessarily a light knife. Come on, there we go. So 5.3, call it 5.4 ounces thereabouts. So not light, not heavy, just kind of right there. But it's a chonker, in your hand. Pull out I'll open this guy back up. And then here is a full-size Sebenza 21, which, the thing almost dwarfs it. I mean, it's a big knife. So for some people, they may not like that. I'm indifferent. I prefer, the Sebenza here is about as big as I like to go. That being said, it doesn't bother me that the knife is this size, but I do think for a lot of people out there that might be a detractor. Things I'd like to see done a little bit differently maybe on this would be to put some jimping, and I know he's done it in the past, but right here, because Honestly, coming up like this isn't natural for me. Like I might do that in some cuts, of course, but definitely there. So that would have been nice to see. You know, it's got the steel lock bar insert. Other than that, you know, it's pretty basic, right? Like it's everyone's familiar with kind of the design and kind of how it's put together. You know, 2 slabs of titanium, lock bar insert, frame lock. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of coming up here thinking, is it natural or is it not natural? You know, for me, it's just really not. Like, I come here and you do slide a little bit, and so to have a little bit of texture here, a little bit of jimping would have been nice. Action wise, what I do really like about this is you can roll it out, reverse flick, thumb flick, all real easily. These are on nylon washers. Him and Jason Guthrie do that, and I'm sure others as well. And I actually really like nylon washers. It provides like a nice self-lubricating property, or it has a self-lubricating property. It's smooth. I don't see really any downsides to that, and I really just, you know, overall, I like the action of this knife, and I love the fact that, you know, the lock bar doesn't get in the way of a slow rollout. I'm sure some of you guys have knives or played with knives to where you can, you know, reverse flick it or you can thumb flick it, but then when it comes to actually just doing a slow roll open, it's hard to do or impossible to do because you have lock bar pressure, and the grip is large enough here to where, at least for me, it doesn't get in the way of that, and I really appreciate that feature. So yeah, it's a cool knife. I don't think it'll be for everyone because of its size. But if the size is something you enjoy, it's right up there with, you know, the best of them as far as function, deployment, materials used, and then of course scarcity. As mentioned earlier in the video, you know, you can't get these. Near impossible to get. You got to follow, you know, Reddit, Swap, Blade Forums, Facebook, the whole 9 yards, and basically turn it into a full-time job, and then you might find one at some point pop up. So it's definitely, you know, something, if you're interested in it, keep an eye open, follow his Instagram, and then follow the secondary markets, and then, you know, you never know, you might see one pop up. All right, that's it. Thank you.